30 memorable quotes from film Kind Hearts and Coronets, 1949, Part 2. Kind Hearts and Coronets. 1949, directed by Robert Hamer, is a masterclass in black comedy and satirical wit. Set in Edwardian England, the film follows Louis Mazzini, a suave and cunning young man who seeks revenge for his mother's disgrace and poverty after being rejected by her aristocratic Gascoigne family. When he learns he is ninth in line to inherit the dukedom, Louis calmly and methodically plots to eliminate each hair standing in his way. The film is most famously known for Alec Guinness's remarkable performance, in which he portrays 8 different Gascoigne family members, male and female, each with their own quirks, absurdities, and downfalls. Dennis Price plays Louis with a chilling charm and elegance, narrating the tale from a prison cell as he awaits execution, his fate twisted by irony and hubris. Beneath its refined surface and droll dialogue lies a sharp critique of class, privilege, and the hypocrisy of the British aristocracy. The film balances macabre humor with elegance, turning murder into an art form and ambition into farce. A landmark of British cinema, Kind Hearts and Coronets remains a timeless tale of ambition, identity, and the high cost of revenge. It is so difficult to make a neat job of killing people with whom one is not on friendly terms, and quote. I shot an arrow in the air, she fell to earth in Berkeley Square, and quote. The only tears shed over his grave were false ones, and the flowers sent were paid for out of his own money, and quote. Revenge is a dish best eaten cold, and quote. I was always taught to be polite to my superiors, but where does one find them? And quote. The Gascoignes were a noble family, insufferably so, and quote. I must admit I was beginning to enjoy the game, and quote. I was about to become the only Gascoigne left, and it suited me admirably, and quote. I couldn't possibly let such a charming man die of natural causes, and quote. Murder, madam, is a matter of opinion, and quote. To be a duke is an accident of birth. To be a gentleman is an achievement, and quote. My principles were not only firm, they were inflexible, and quote. I shot him from the boat. It seemed the sporting thing to do, and quote. It was the kind of death that one might expect in Venice, not in Hampton Court, and quote. I was, after all, doing England a service, and quote. Chalfont was a small boy with a large estate and limited intelligence, and quote. The deaths of the Gascoignes were a symphony in perfect pitch, and quote. Hypocrisy is the homage vice pays to virtue, and quote. The only thing that consoled me in prison was the knowledge that the others were not yet free, and quote. I set my course by the North Star of retribution, and quote. A private chapel is no place for irreverence or accident, and quote. The choir sang with unusual enthusiasm at his funeral. Perhaps it was relief, and quote. Murder is easy when one's motives are pure, and quote. Sibella, you mustn't think me heartless, only determined, and quote. He never saw the arrow. I took great care about that, and quote. I find it hard to summon regret when the outcome is so rewarding, and quote. The law, like the Gascoignes, is often slow and ponderous, and quote. conscience is a luxury I've learned to live without, and quote. And quote. Curiously, the family never noticed they were dwindling, and quote. And quote. Death has a curious way of tidying up family matters, and quote. And quote. I was a poor relation with a revolver and a plan, and quote. And quote. There's no point in being sentimental about old enemies, and quote. And quote. A gentleman never murders in haste, and quote. And quote. Her beauty was only rivaled by her ambition, and quote. And quote. A good wine deserves a better vintage of company, and quote. And quote. I found poison too subtle. Explosives were far more convincing, and quote. And quote. It is extraordinary how people reveal their true character at funerals, and quote. And quote. My ambition grew with every obituary, and quote. And quote. He died with dignity, which was more than he lived with, and quote. And quote. Love and death rarely keep the same diary, and quote. And quote. I was the architect of their misfortune and my own elevation, and quote. And quote. One must be patient when rearranging the family tree, and quote. And quote. If only they'd known how dearly their title cost them, and quote. And quote. The view from the top was worth every drop of blood, and quote. And quote. Each death brought me closer to what I deserved, and quote. And quote. To be honest, I rather relished the symmetry of the crime, and quote. And quote. It was the perfect crime, except for its consequences, and quote. And quote. Prison gave me time to reflect, and plot, and quote. And quote. My only regret is that I didn't start sooner, and quote. And quote. The dukedom was mine, but the gallows awaited.